I was doing research on H.H. Holmes for my midterm project, and I found something curious. On his Wikipedia page, I found that it said, he was really handsome and kind of innocent actually. I clicked on the site note, and it didn't exist. I checked the editors of the page, and I found the name Triple H Fan that wrote that comment. I thought, Triple H? There's 3 H's in H.H. Holmes. So, I googled his name, and nothing came up. I thought fine, and then went back to my work. But something was eating me up. It was a question so deep, so illustrious that I could not ignore. So I went back to the Wikipedia page. I read that page top to bottom, and I found nothing, except that it was kind of funny that he was charged with horse theft. I thought it was a dead end, so I went back to my research. It turns out when they were exhuming his body, they found a wooden box of scrap wood, and then a second box that read H.H. Holmes, and in that box was his body encased in concrete so that looters wouldn't get inside. When they chipped it away, they found decomposed remains, his boots, his waistcoat, and his iconic bowler hat. There were even some pieces of his mustache. His remains were sludged and goopy, so they couldn't get any DNA out of him, but his teeth and bones mostly survived, and supposedly it was him. Or so they thought. It turns out a few people wrote stories in the paper about Holmes still being alive after his death in 1896. They said that he replaced his body with the body of a condemned man, but most people put the kibosh on the story and never brought it up again. Or maybe that's just what H.H. Holmes wanted to happen. The evidence looks pretty damning, but did you ever consider how many bodies he had access to? Couldn't he have found teeth that would fit his own to fake his death? But wait, what does this article say? There was a mystery. A silver cross was placed on top of the body, but it wasn't to be found? Oh wait, never mind, they actually did find it. At this point, I was at another dead end. I was nearing to give up. All the evidence was adding up to say that he really was dead, but my heart was telling me that it wasn't true, that there was something out there trying to tell me to figure this out. And then I realized, H.H. Holmes is an acronym. If H.H. Holmes stood for something, could something stood for H.H. Holmes? I decided to take the first letter of every word in the Wikipedia page to see if there was a hidden message somewhere in there. Time passed, and just when I was about to quit, something started to be spelled out. I am H.H. Holmes, writing this in the big 2025, and I am here to say that I am still alive. My mind was blown. My suspicions were beyond belief. How could all the exhumers and archaeologists and those fools on the History Channel not see this? So I called up a buddy of mine who lives in Chicago to ask him some questions. Hey.
Hello.
Hey.
How's it going?
So you're in Chicago, right?
Yep.
You ever seen a guy with a big mustache and a giant bowler hat?
I don't know.
Yeah, say yes.
Yes.
What? Okay. Hey, I guess I'll take your word for it. Thank you, Miller.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks. What? What my buddy said shook me to my core. I had to find out more about this. I then remembered something else. He claimed to be possessed by the devil, no? So I found a list of the top 100 best Satan parts in the Bible, and I found damning evidence. The devil prowls not, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers of Father, who was called the devil and Satan, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavens. He was thrown down, he was a murderer from the beginning, and does not stand in the truth, but there is no truth in him. I thought, what if, instead of being possessed by the devil, he was the devil himself and was still alive, like immortal or whatever? I knew this was a crazy story, so I started to write a letter to every leading newspaper in America. But right once I was finished, I received an email. I received an email from the address triplehfan@aol.com. And before I even read it, I knew it had to have been H.H. Holmes himself, because only someone as old as him would have an AOL email address. Haha, congratulations, you found me out. I wondered when someone would realize that I was still alive. I mean, I've been leaving these clues everywhere on the internet, like the dancing baby from 96. Yeah, that was me. I also drew the troll face when I was playing around on a napkin at a bar one time, but that wasn't really significant, really. Anyway, add me on Facebook if you want. So then I found him on Facebook, and then I friended him, and yeah.
And you're submitting this for English class.
Yeah, the midterm.
Our boy is screwed.
He's overacting now.
I couldn't stop giggling at that one.